views and opinions on this show are for entertainment purposes only. The only factual information is any story that has happened to AT2 or the parties involved. Other than that, go ahead and get you a drink, get you something to eat, just relax and enjoy the show. Let's have fun. All right, y'all, let's get real.
Hey, you guys, before we start the show, I just want to say something. The show that I always plan to do is still happening. This is the show. I will explain in another video what went on beforehand and all that stuff. But how can you pack up somebody who's already, the trash has already been taken out? How can I pack up anybody? I just want to let y'all know that before we start the show. Let's get into it. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming to another episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? Thank you, everybody, for being here. You guys liked the show from yesterday when we talked about Danae, so we are back for part 2. I kept changing the time because I didn't realize that part 2 was going to be 2 hours long. I was all like, man, that is a long ass interview. So I guess the first part, it was just like a little sample, a little teaser. But this one, we got a little more confirmation on things. Were there things that I feel like Laterras, that's what his name is, Laterras R. Whitfield, that's the interviewer on Dear Future Wifey podcast? Yes, I felt like there was questions that he could have asked more and got a little bit more information out of it, but that's here nor there. He's the one who scored the interview, so congratulations to him. We ain't no hater up over here, so we're going to appreciate him. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me say what's up to the people before we get into it. Welcome, everyone. Yes, just curious. Thank you. Shout out to my mods. What's up, Ginger Bear? Thank you for coming. Beauty for Ashes. Purple Soul. What's up, Heart of Inspiration? I'm coming on later, and you're coming on my panel, ATL. I'm down. Just let me know what time. What's up, New York Chicken Wing? What's up, Casey? What's up, my CC? What's up, Sexy 60? What's up, Miss Roslyn? Thank you for coming. What's up? Melanie Jones in the house. When I can't talk, I'm sorry. You know, I got my vacation tomorrow, so I'm trying to knock out all these shows early in the morning so I can get packing. I ain't packed nothing, y'all. What's up, Queen B More? Shout out to all my members. Thank you for being here. Miss T, what's up, Irene? What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming, Stephanie. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to what happened with the interview. So Danae does admit a little bit more as far as like her perception into what went wrong in their relationship. She believes that there was some kind of spiritual warfare going on. And she talks about spiritual warfare and paranormal activity. So if y'all are afraid of ghosts, y'all might want to tune out for the next 30 seconds. So she said even her daughter was being attacked by the spiritual warfare or paranormal activity, right? She said there was one day her daughter was laying in bed and she seen her daughter levitating. Yes, she said she seen her daughter levitating. I was like, hold on now. You seen your daughter levitating? That would have been the first sign like the relationship should have been over with, because she didn't say once she seen that the relationship was over. She said she seen her daughter levitate in the air while she was sleeping. Now, I don't know if she was being dramatic or anything like that, but if I see your feet not touching the ground and you levitating, I'm sorry. I probably would have left the daughter in the house. Now, that's why I'm probably not a parent. But if I see my child floating in the air, I'll be like, oh, hell no, that's the devil. That's a demon child. I would have ran out the door. Yeah, she said she seen her daughter levitating. She knew it was a spiritual warfare going on. I'm not kidding, y'all. Somebody said drugs. No, no edible. Shut up, Casey. Anyway, so she, stated that basically when the information came out publicly, she had already knew about the 11 women or whatnot. She said there's a few women that she did not know about. However, she knew about the majority of the women. And so it seemed like she did have some kind of reckoning, and she realized, like, hey, these women, I knew about the cheating except for a few. So to me, she said that she wasn't complicit in the cheating, but from what we see, it seems like you were, because you knew about it. And sometimes you wouldn't even tell them about the women that you seen him cheating with. You didn't tell him about the videos that you seen. So that part, it still seems like she hasn't came to that realization that she was complicit in what's going on. Because when the interviewer asked her, like, did you guys have basically an agreement? In the book of Derrick, did it say thou should have a wife and then let me cheat with a whole bunch of different women? She claims no. That was never a conversation, or that was never something that they wanted, or they talked about. She did admit that after 8 months, during a time period, she left for 8 months. Derrick was living in his condo, and she was living in a 9,000 square foot mansion. Again, he's living in a condo, and she's living in the 9,000 square foot mansion. He said the reason why he needed to live at the condo was because he needed to, be able to work and concentrate. And with the kids there, he wasn't going to be able to, work because the kids would make too much noise. Now, I've never lived in a 9,000 square foot home or a mansion. However, I believe if you in a 9,000 square foot mansion, right, you should be able to have enough space where no one can hear you. That's what I'm thinking. There should be some kind of a studio built in the home or something soundproof where you ain't got to deal with the kids, or she can watch them while you're recording your video. I don't understand why you have a condo. Now, some larger content creators do have a content creator home. That's what they call it. Like they'll have a little studio or something like that. Yes, where you create your content. But okay, so I wasn't a fan of Derrick Jaxn. I didn't really watch his videos and stuff like that. But correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't most of his videos shot in his car? Remember, I used to be in my car. Most of Derrick's videos were shot in the car. So what kids are distracting you from? Y'all get where I'm going with this? Because she also said she would show up at that condo, right? And want to, have sex with her man. And she would go there and he would be like, oh no, I just want to talk. And he didn't want to have sex with her. And so so she would surprise him at the condo, and he would basically just want conversation. He wouldn't want sex from her. The signs were there. The signs were there. That is crazy to me. And she said they went periods and months without any intimacy. Yeah. And mind you, this is after she found out about the whole cheating and everything like that, right? Right, definitely red flag, exactly. So we all can assume that the reason why Derrick was in that home was because, or in the condo, was because that's where he had his other women go. He can't bring the women to the house, so let me bring all my women to the condo. I forgot to upload a few things, you guys. Okay, here we go. Why not bring the women to the condo where you're not at? She even said that sometimes she would try to pop up, or she would tell him like, hey, I'm gonna show up, and he would call the police. He said he threatened to call the police on her if she showed up just randomly. Now, how you married to somebody and they threaten to call the police on you? This is the shit I'm talking about. That makes no sense. He threatened to call the police on her if she showed up just randomly. Like they had to live, she had to stay there with the kids, do that, and he's over here just living his best life with all those other women. And Melanie said, "I wish you would." Right. So this is the crazy shit this woman has been through. And we're going to talk about her mental health and stuff like that because she mentioned something that I want to bring up later. We're going to talk about that. So there was a time period where she had left for 8 months. She said her phone was cut off. So she didn't tell him that she was leaving, but her phone was already cut off. He said they were going through a financial crisis. Mind you, they have a 9,000 square foot mansion and he has a condo, but they're going through a financial crisis to where she couldn't have a phone. The phone was cut off. And it wasn't like cut off for a day. She didn't say exactly how long, but she said cut off for days. The phone was cut off for days. And so she called her mom to drive with her back to Denver, Colorado, where she's from. So so her mom flies out. Whoa. That's a good question. If your phone was cut off, how did you call your mom to come to Atlanta or Georgia to come and get you? Okay, he didn't ask her about that. That's a good question right there. But basically, the mom came, flew into town, and then they drove 24 hours to Colorado. Now, she said before she even got there, he was already back in Colorado. He knew that she had left. And so what ended up happening was that he went to the mom's house, but the mom had already moved. He didn't know where the new house was. So he ends up getting in contact with her and, told her to meet up with him and, let's talk and work it out. So he wanted to work it out once she left. And it's so crazy because during this time, we didn't know any of this going on. She was still unknown. She wasn't a name or anything like that. So she ends up, telling him that she needs time away from him for that 8-month period. She ends up going to Bible study with her mom. And then that's when she started really getting back into religion and stuff like that. So no, she was not the crazy Christian lady all her life. This was something more recent after the cheating and after all this stuff. She was very heartbroken. And she does mention that the trauma from, her grape. And if you cut off the G in grape, you know what I'm saying, right? Her grape. And then just all the infidelities, the cheating. And then on top of that, the abandonment from her dad. So just imagine this man that's supposed to love and protect her is abandoning her again, just like her father did. That's what she's feeling. What's up, Naughty? Cheaper to keep her. Right, Miss T. We already knew what he was doing. He was going there to try to save the marriage because, like, oh shit, she gonna try to take my money. Not that he loved her. Yes, I do believe that, Audrey. Definitely believe that. Right, the Rambo look, right. So she, was doing fine, and then she was ready to, reconcile their relationship and be back together, right? She told him there were some things that we need before we get back together. And it was a list of 13, but she didn't list all 13 things. She said she didn't remember, but it was 13 things that she wanted. And I do have a few of those things here. I'm just going to put up a picture while I look at my notes. Oh, damn, I can't even find it, y'all. I cannot find it in my damn notes. I wrote, trust me, this thing was long. There was a lot of notes in here. Okay, I found it. And it wasn't nothing crazy, too. Let me tell you, I know we all kind of picture her as like the crazy church lady and all that stuff, but it was nothing crazy that she asked for. And make sure y'all hit the like button, too. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. So she mentioned that she wanted him to schedule time for the family, like be involved, see them and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, right? Also, change his phone numbers because she didn't want him contacting the women and stuff like that. That now, did that work? No, obviously that didn't work because he was still sleeping with the different women and all that stuff, right? Also, they needed to move out of Georgia. They had to leave Georgia because that's where all the infidelities and everything was. And she wanted to be closer to their family. So she said, we have to move to Texas. So that's where they ended up moving to Texas, Dallas to be particular. Also, they had to at least do 6 months of therapy. So when they did during the therapy, they had to get help and all that stuff. And then they had to renew their vows, which they never end up renewing their vows because, then we know the spoiler, they ended up getting a divorce and stuff like that, filing and all that. So those were the things that they were supposed to do. Now, she said the life in Texas, they were seeing some kind of expensive expensive therapists in London, like via Zoom and stuff like that, seeing some kind of expensive therapist. They're supposed to be getting help and everything like that. And it seemed that it was working, but still the cheating, the infidelities. And so then I'm going to kind of fast forward to the Tasha K thing. So she said around March 2021 is when Tasha K had released or had, the 4 interviews with the different women and stuff like that. So as we know, Danae says she knew about all the women except like maybe like a couple or something like that. And then she said there was one particular woman that kept putting her name in her mouth, and I try to go back and listen to Tasha K interviews, but they were too long while I was watching this. But there was some particular woman that she was very upset about that kept having her name in her mouth, and she was not talking about Tasha. She named Tasha by name. It was some other mistress or something like that. And I try to go back and look real quick on like some of my old videos because they were shorter than Tasha's, but I couldn't find out which one was mentioning her name. But she did mention there was a woman who kept mentioning her name that she didn't appreciate. And also, during this time, she had never been on camera. She wasn't used to all the things that came with being on camera and doing this whole apology thing. Remember, they had to do that video where she was sitting in the black beret and then he was next to her. You see his face. Now I added those tear emojis, but you see his face. That was the shirt, the red velvet shirt that he was wearing, or the red velvet sweater. That's what he was wearing. Now she revealed there was some kind of crisis manager that came and was all like, told her what to wear. Like, don't wear white. He had her watch the Vanessa and Kobe video. Y'all remember that whole scandal when Kobe had cheated on Vanessa, right? He was all like, yeah, you need to, do like her, caress my hand, make sure that I'm, look supportive and stuff like that. So she said when she sat there, she literally didn't say anything because she didn't know what to say. And she never initially wanted to be on camera, and that wasn't her thing. And she said she's not an actress, so she couldn't fake. So all she did was just stay there and just look, we seen the video. Didn't we say it kind of looked like a hostage video when we first seen that apology video? Oh, thank you, Pinky Love. Okay, thank you. Pinky kept saying stuff to her. Pinky said, why you mad? Because he chose me. Oh, thank you, D. I appreciate that. Pinky Love was the one. Damn. And another thing too, it's weird because like, I don't think it was like the Pinky Love, right? I don't think it was ever a competition. Like, I don't know why she felt like, oh, I got your man, or I don't know that maybe because I'm not a woman, I can't understand that. But if you got him, you got him. But at the same time, that's not how you're going to keep them. You hear these relationships where you have these women or these people, not just women, men and women, that get in these relationships that involve, all the cheating, all of this, all of that. And then the relationship goes to shit, because how you get them is how you lose them. If you started out cheating or some kind of infidelity and y'all was seeing each other on the side, usually in turn, that relationship was already tainted. So it's not going to work. And he's not with the pinky love, right? So yeah, that relationship obviously did not work. Not at all. So karma will get you. You can play the games and shit like that, but karma will end up eventually getting your ass, and then you're gonna be all like, damn, that's karma right there. I'm gonna turn off these lights real quick. Hold on, you guys. Actually, I'll just turn it low. All right, all right, all right. And make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button as well too while I turn off the lights. Okay, Melanie. Yep. Definitely can see that. So anyway, okay, a lot better. Whew. So she also mentions that on where am I at my notes? So before they actually got divorced, she was actually, trying to work out the relationship. I can't say that he was ever trying to work out the relationship, y'all. That feels weird to me, saying that he was working on the relationship. Like Miss T said, it's cheaper to keep her. I think he was more concerned about his money because financially they weren't doing too well. And I wish she would have talked more about that, but she couldn't because she had no access to the finances. He basically controlled everything. She had no access to any of the finances. She didn't know what was going on. I mean, the first sign your phone gets turned off and you can't contact nobody, you can't reach out to nobody, and your phone is turned off, but you're living in a 9,000 square foot mansion. Why was that not like a conversation had, like, hey, can you pay the phone bill? When are you going to pay the phone bill? Like, I would have definitely went to the condo and try to be like, hey, we need to, X, Y, and Z, like turn this shit back on so I can be able to call and do this and do that. But I think that was another way of control. Besides just the financial control, I believe that was another way of control, because maybe he got an inkling like, oh, she about to leave me, or she going to try to do some shit. Let me cut off her phone and then she can't do anything. I believe it was it was a strategy. And you got to remember too, he lives, if you're a social media or a content creator, you have to at least you might not even have to have a phone, but at least some way to record. So you have to have internet, you have to have access to something. So him saying that the phone bill is not being paid, that means that his phone was still on. Trust me, because he still has to work and put money, food on the table. Your phone did not work. Via email. Thank you, Luciana. Thank you. I appreciate you clarifying. Email. Okay. There we go. Well, they basically had a sexless marriage, Audrey. That's what she stated. Now, when, they would, he kind of blamed it on her being, the R-worded, that, oh, you're not ready for this and I want you to heal. She said actually right before they got a divorce, a few days, they had sex, right? He said, I want you to heal, this doesn't feel right, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when he hit her with the divorce. But here's the thing. He weaponized that against her, Oh, see, MB just said it. He weaponized it against her because he was already sleeping with other women. And now she said, sometimes they wouldn't have, as far as intercourse, but she was doing other things to try to please him. And this kind of goes into when the viral clip of her saying, like, she would try to copy what these women would do in the videos. Now, she didn't clarify how she got access. I know she said she snooped through his phone, but when someone is cheating, right? You usually try to hide that. I don't know why he would record that on his phone. Like, she had to have at least looked at his computer, or broke into somewhere. Her looking at his phone, I just can't imagine like he would record all the encounters on his phone. But hey, he could have. He wanted her to find out. More than likely, yeah. What's up, Patrice? She said he has narcissistic personality disorder with psychopathic tendencies, in my humble opinion. Okay, that makes more sense now. Okay. So he wanted this, basically. Yeah. Yeah, he wanted it. I just hate that she let herself get to that point of being disrespected, because no matter what she did or what was going on, she did not deserve that. And especially so publicly. And I wish she would have got more into, him being a love guru and how that affected their relationship, because this man, it'd be different. No, cheating is cheating, right? However, it's a little different when you're supposed to be a love guru and talking about these men who be mistreating their ladies and how you got to love women and all this stuff, but yet you don't even love your own wife. You don't even love your own wife. However, you're trying to preach about how you need to have love and respect for her and all these things. You don't have any love and respect for your own wife. How can you tell anybody else what they need to be doing? Now, she didn't say that they were having threesomes, but she said the whole thing like she was trying to mimic these women, even their looks, like from the hair, body, everything. She was trying to mimic their looks. Now, she didn't say she had any plastic surgery, but she was trying to look like the women. And then she was also trying to emulate the things that they were doing in their tapes and stuff like that. So, but still, she had not dealt with her trauma with being the R word. Yeah, Mia. She said over the span from when they were 19 years old, they got together when they were 19. She said it was at least 100 women. And then I just think, like, too, so you're still having sex with somebody who is sleeping with over 100 women. Like, are you concerned that, he's going to bring anything back to you? Or are you just all like, hey, I'm just going to keep on trying to please him? And well, it keeps on going back to the abandonment issues. Yeah, she watched the videos, Miss Black. It keeps going back to the abandonment issues. And what's going on is that she had not healed from that. And she had not healed from, the things that Derrick did to her. Oh, intangible. We don't know. She didn't mention it, but, I guess another thing, what's up, Mary? I guess another thing is that maybe it was best that they weren't having, regular sex, because if they were, she probably could have caught something. No telling what he was out doing. No telling if, he was even using protection with those women. Oh, Chantel said, God give us discernment for a reason. She knew he was cheating. Right. And that's the thing too. She didn't talk about if there was anybody besides her mom. She didn't talk about if there was anybody who like really like helped and rallied around her and try to get her to leave him or anything like that. It just seemed like she was okay with it. Now, I know essentially, no, she wasn't okay, but she let it happen. She let it keep happening. For this man to have his own place and condo where he was living. And I guess I should have clarified that. He was living in the condo, she was living in the mansion. Living two separate lives. If anything, he could record in the condo, right? And then come back home. Why was he not coming back home after he would record his videos? And you know, also another thing too, you can record multiple videos in one day. So you did not have to live there or stay at the condo. Because Derrick didn't really do lives and stuff like that, right? Like he didn't go live constantly and those kind of things. And then also, remember, I told you most of his videos, at least the ones that were going viral, he was sitting in his car. Right. Casey said it. That was true. Truth be told, it's a lot of women like her out there, just eating a ninja ish. Thank you for saying ninja ish, just to say they have one. Yeah, the facts. Oh, thank you, Couture. The facts. So it was a man, perhaps. You never know. No, you never know. Yeah, at the end of the interview, Latrice did ask, like, do you think he'll ever come on the show? Do you think he'll ever do an interview? And she was like, he's done interviews before, but he ain't gonna come on this show. Derrick is not going to do an interview. Can you imagine being the man that slept with, nearly 100 women and having to take accountability for that you did? Can you imagine that? Like, what can he say? There's nothing that really Derrick can say. He looks like a straight up asshole. AT2, do you think if it was not made public, would this relationship have been continued, or was it the last straw? Oh, the relationship would have continued, and this is why. He filed for divorce. He filed for divorce. That's the difference. He was the one who filed the divorce on September 2022. He put in the paperwork in October 13th and said irreconcilable differences. I know I butchered that. We're just going to continue like I didn't. And then she countersuited with adultery because she was all like, at my daughter's birthday when they were separated, right? At the daughter's birthday, he actually ended up going and seeing another woman. So because he went to go see the other woman, she was like, no, I got to put in, like, this is adultery. This is why we're getting separated. Now, I've never been married, but she was a little naive because she said, oh, I didn't know that the divorce was going to take a long time. She said basically she's ready for it to be over with. It's done. She's not dating. She's not ready. She still has to heal from this. And I appreciate her saying that. Like, she's not ready to get out there and date and stuff like that. It's going to take her a while. Does he not want to divorce her? I am confused with all those women he slept with. It's obviously wasn't happy. Right. But like we said earlier, cheaper to keep her. Can you imagine being the love guru and then having to admit that you've been sleeping and cheating with all the women, but you've been condemning all these men who do it? If he does do an interview, he'll say he is in therapy for sex addiction to get sympathy. Right. That would be his playbook. But I don't even think he'll say, like, at this point, he's basically over. I mean, yeah, people still watch his videos. Like I said, his latest video got like 12,000 views, but he's not going viral. People aren't really supporting him like they used to. It's not the same. They are not supporting him like they used to. I mean, how can you support a man telling, and that's another thing too with a lot of these content creators. I'm just going to segue for a minute. A lot of red pill, all these people will sell you a lifestyle, right? But they are not living the life that they are selling you. And maybe I should work on that and say I live in a mansion, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But they are not living the lifestyle that they sell you. So when you see YouTubers, please, even with me, please just see us as entertainers. Try not to get wrapped up in emotion and stuff like that. Just see us as entertainers, because there are people who are probably devastated that this man was found out to be a cheater, all the infidelities and stuff like that, and find out that he wasn't shit. There are probably women out there, because Let's be honest, his following was mostly women, just like my following is mostly women. So he's going to cater to those women and say everything y'all love. Say everything y'all love, everything that you want to hear from a man, and it gets you triggered, it gets you in your emotions. He is emotionally manipulating you, the women out there, his subscribers, and he's emotionally manipulating his wife at the same time. This guy probably has some trauma himself. He got to work out some shit, you know? I don't understand how YouTuber can um, be in a mansion and people are still giving the YouTuber money as if he needs it. That's the weird part. You know, I will say this as a content creator: if they want to give him money, definitely they can, because I would never want to stifle anybody money. But you know, T Love, I go back to saying, like, with a small content creator like me, people aren't dropping, you know, $1,000 or $500 and stuff like that. But with a large content creator like them, even though he's living good, they're dropping $500,000. They are paying him. He's getting paid from this, advertisers, just because of who he is, the numbers, and the content that he's creating. People don't really look at the smaller guys as anything. They look at us like, oh, you're down there, okay, you know, I guess, you know, I'll throw you a penny. But somebody like that, people want to invest, they want to put money in, they see he's living a lifestyle and shit like that, you know. Right, Nintendo, let's be clear. You know, support AT2. hmm He was everything that he talked about, Audrey. Yes, everything that he talked about. So she did mention about the salvation bonnet, you know, the bonnet of salvation, salvation helmet. I'm sorry. And it was a beret, by the way. It wasn't a bonnet. That was weird, because she was like, some of you guys call this a bonnet. This is a salvation helmet. She actually clarified and said, like, you know, she didn't know what to say. She didn't know what to do. So basically, she was all like, hey, I'm going to just start doing videos. And that was the first thing that came to her mind, because she was all like, damn, I'm in this situation. And now I got to come out and say something. I just can't sit in the background now. And so I agree with her. Like, what was she supposed to do? Now, definitely the way she was coming out so strong and stuff like that, I wouldn't suggest that at all. No, 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 no. She definitely should have watched some YouTubers in a certain sector and seen how they get down and how they do social media, and made it more palatable, made it, you know, more, made it so we could tolerate it more. I was gonna say swallow, but y'all be thinking nerdy. So she should have made it in a way where we could tolerate it instead of coming out so strong. She also talked about how she did the whole curse video, how she said she was going to put a curse on people. Now, I'll give her credit, because she admitted that when she said the whole curse thing, she knew what she was doing. It was word word manipulation. You know, your children are vagabonds, let them be fatherless and stuff like that. And it's Psalms 109. And I do have a little excerpt of it. Because basically a lot of people don't know the definition of it, and I didn't know it either, so I'm happy that I was able to learn. So it says, oh God, my praise, do not be silent, for the mouth of the wicked man, the mouth of the deceit are opened against me. They speak to me with a lying tongue, and with the words of hatred, they have surrounded me, and I have fought against me without cause. In return for my love, they have become my adversaries, but I am all prayer. So basically, what the Psalms 109 is, it's a prayer for deliverance. She wrapped it up and made it seem like it was a curse. And she said she did that on purpose, because she knew people weren't going to look at the Bible verse. People weren't going to understand the meaning. They were just going to take, you know, the whole vagabonds and, you know, your children be fatherless and the tongue of the wicked and all this stuff. They were just going to take that. She also said she has a master's in Christianity. So she knew how to use her words. And I was just thinking about the church too. And again, I'm going to segue real quick. What if the church actually explained things better to us where we actually understood? And this is just for me. This is maybe not for everybody, but this is just for me. Because sometimes the words can be off-putting, but when you don't put any context to it, it sounds worse than it actually is. So what she was saying was a Bible verse. It was not actually a curse. And I just wanted to give you guys the definition of deliverance. So deliverance is basically liberation. Oh, hold on. Did I put the definition here? Yeah. Deliverance is liberation, freeing, rescue and salvation. That's basically what deliverance is. It's nothing bad or nothing that, we when we think of deliverance, we think of what's his name? Andrew Caldwell, when he said he was delivered from all the men and shit like that. That's what we think. So basically he was saying he was free from his love, same gender loving and stuff like that. That's basically what he was saying. So when she was talking about, the whole Psalms and all that, it was BS. She was not that the Psalms 109 was BS, but the way she framed it as a curse, it wasn't a curse at all. How can you sleep with 100 women? No, some people. What's up, Trevor? Uh, he had a sex demon in him. That's what. Not to be funny, but it was a sex demon. I agree. I wish preachers would take the time to break things down. Thanks for defining deliverance. I am enjoying this live. Yeah, no problem. And again, I'm not scared of my relationship with God. It's the religion that is off-putting. That's the church and stuff like that. That's what the off-putting part is. It actually doesn't scare me at all. But when you have people weaponizing God's word, y'all don't hear me. I'm going to repeat that one more time and make sure y'all hit that like button if you understand. When you have people weaponizing God's word, that's what turns people off. Thank you, Just Curious, for dropping that. That's what turns people off. And so this is where we're getting into her using her words to, quote unquote, curse people, but she wasn't cursing anybody. She was just giving people. It was a prayer of deliverance. That's what it was. Prayer for deliverance. And thank you, Intangible. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the video. Yeah, the organized system of religion is what I don't like. Exactly. Nobody has a problem with the church. It's the organized religion and, those kind of things. And people weaponizing God's word. That's what people don't like, just to clarify. And you know what the crazy part is? It's so many people who are involved in church that really like me. And it's weird because not that I'm like, we're all sinners. Not like I'm a devil or anything like that, but it's so weird how they connect with me because I'm all like, don't you know, like I cuss, I say certain things, I talk about this, I talk about that. Why do you guys follow me? And maybe they see something in me, and it made me realize that not everybody who goes to church is judgmental. And thank you, Tanisha. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Not everybody who goes to church is evil or they're trying to discourage you from God. It's just certain people that we see that turn us off away from it. He could advertise anything, but right. He probably had sex with over 100 women because he's internally insecure. He's not a looker in the face. So imagining what he may have looked like when he was younger. And yeah, I imagine. Thank you for clarifying, Leia. I think, like I said, he has his own trauma. He has his own things going on. I don't think he has actually delved into what happened to him. Thank you, Melanie. I appreciate that. He has not looked into what actually happened to him. And, I know they said they went to therapy and stuff like that, but what did he discover about himself? What did he find out about himself as far as like why he was cheating? Why doesn't he respect his wife? Like, what did he find out about himself? Because it seems like a lot of like not taking accountability for what he did, and she's trying to dive in and restore herself and get through her trauma. But what is he doing, you know? Okay. You know what? Let's do a little break real quick. Excuse me, because I know there's a lot of women in the chat. Do you find Derrick Jaxn attractive? Yes or no? 30 seconds. Ladies, go at it. Go at it in the comments. 30 seconds. Okay, Des said yes, she would smash. Jackie said no. Chantel said no. Hell no. What's up, Nikwa? Nelly would smash. Prissy would smash. Who else? No. Tasha said no. No. Intangible said yes, but I haven't had a man in a decade. A box looks attractive. Oh my god, y'all crack me up. Zyra said no. Yes, thank you, Intangible. I do not find him attractive. Jai, okay. Okay, that was just a fun question, but anyway. So with Derrick, I don't see how he still even has any subscribers. Someone lying like that, and someone who has really not practicing what they preached. I can't imagine. Maybe the reason why he still has subscribers is because, let me tell you guys something. There's some people who only watch for certain content. And some people honestly don't look into the drama around somebody. So I think that's how he's able to keep it. Like I'll say for me, for example, sometimes when I get on my platform, I'll be like, yeah, can you believe that blah, blah, blah did a video about me and they said this and that? Some people in my chat will be like, AT2, who is that? I don't even know who they are. Like, why are you even talking about them? But I'm thinking in my head, oh, somebody did a diss video against me. Everybody must have seen it. I have to come out, make a statement, say something about it. And I got to attack that. I have to respond back to that person. Or if I don't, people are going to hate me and they're going to think X, Y, and Z. But sometimes you ain't got to respond back. I watched a couple of his videos, like, you know, around the cheating time, but I was never like, I knew who he was. I was never like a fan of it. I was kind of like, oh, whatever, you know. But, you know, a lot of people don't watch all those hate videos and stuff like that. They literally only watch you. They are not searching for those hate videos about you. And so I think that's how he was able to still have his subscribers and stuff like that, because there's a lot of people. He has over 400,000 or 300,000. Anyway, he's in the 6 digits, right? I bet you all those 6-digit people that watch him have not heard about his infidelities, heard about him cheating. They're so enamored by this man and his words that he say. He can literally say like, I never cheated. And those women will believe it, even though there's factual information out there that shows that he was cheating. They would believe that he's not cheating. So you have to think about it that way. So I think that's how he still has his subscribers and shit like that. There's probably a sector of people that haven't watched him. Sad truth. And you would think anything, this would have been a perfect opportunity for him to rebrand himself as a family man. And yes, they were supposed to do a podcast. I looked at my video and I don't know why I didn't screenshot it and and put it on the screen, but they were supposed to do a podcast together. So they did have deals working out. And I wish she would have talked about that. Like, yeah, we were supposed to do a podcast, but then it didn't, because it never came out. So I would like to hear, like, why didn't the podcast came out, you know? Oh, he's preaching the same BS. Des Garcia said he's still preaching the same BS. No, it's mostly women. He does have he does cater towards to a mostly female audience. Yeah, he doesn't release a lot of videos either. And again, I was thinking like too, oh, maybe he hasn't released a lot of videos because his career is over, but it's not that, believe it or not. He has are there any content creators out there? And this is the kind of content that I want to create more. This is why I want to do the pre-recorded long form videos more. It's called like green something, like green life, green. I think it's called like green life. And I'm just going to explain it real quick. The green life is based in, I'm using the wrong word, but it's called green something. I forgot. Basically, those are the videos like from like year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago that are still getting millions and millions of views. So those videos, YouTube sees like, oh, these are still getting views. They keep on pushing that old content out in the algorithm, have you watch it, and then he's still getting revenue from those videos. It's called green something. I'm just calling it green life, but it's called green something, where those videos still make you money, where you don't have to post all the time. Evergreen, ding, 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 ding. Yes, I think it's Evergreen. Yeah, Evergreen content. That's what he has, Evergreen content. So because he has Evergreen content, he doesn't have to really post. And he's not in the entertainment field. I think he would be like more educational or something like that. Let me try to look up what his thing is real quick. Let me pull up Social Blade. Because like for me, the sector that I'm in where they categorize me is entertainment. Entertainment is making pennies on the dollar. But say like if you did the tech world people make like $50 per CPM. You know, their CPM, RP, all that stuff. So, you know, they might get 1,000 views, but they're making $50 per 1,000 views, where I have to do 30 videos in order to get $50. Isn't that crazy, y'all? That's the evergreen content. That's what that is. And that's what Derrick Jaxn has. So he doesn't have to post all the time because he's still making, you know, a cool 6 figures, I bet you. Now, has his money went down? Yes, definitely. Oh, no, I'm wrong, you guys. I'm wrong. I take that back. He is listed under channel type entertainment. Okay. He is listed underneath entertainment. So he's still under the entertainment bracket. But he still gets 1 million views every month. Yeah, he's still getting like over 1 million views every month. Still, his subscribers don't really change too much, because when you get to 100,000, it only goes by every 1,000, so they don't really update it every day. But he's still getting over 1 million views a month, so he's good. Yeah, he's still fine. So he still has that that evergreen content where he's still making money. So that's why it hasn't really hit rock bottom and he doesn't post that much. Because definitely I would be all like, if something happened to me that destroyed my career, I'm over. You know, I'm completely over. But for him, he'll still always have that income coming in, and YouTube is always going to push him out in the algorithm. Just like right now, because I have Derrick Jaxn hashtag, I bet you anything you're probably going to see Derrick Jaxn videos. Like for yesterday when I did my video on Derrick Jaxn and you guys watched, right? Did you guys then start getting Derrick Jaxn content and stuff like that? Let me wait for you guys to respond while I look at this, because I wanted to go into her mental health. So as far as her mental health, she said that she was not clinically diagnosed with anything. And I had said that, and people were all like, AT2, you probably were diagnosed. But no, I told you guys, when I seen my therapist, I wasn't diagnosed with anything because it takes a while to do that. And remember, I was only seeing my therapist once a month. How can you diagnose somebody and you only see them once a month? You know what I mean? So with her, she was only diagnosed with postpartum. Like after she had all her kids, she was diagnosed with postpartum, and she was pregnant. And I forgot to mention, so the bonnet of salvation or helmet salvation or whatever, she was pregnant during that time. So when Tasha K released that video, she was pregnant. She was 8 weeks pregnant. So just imagine this information gets released, then Derrick is telling you, hey, we need to hurry up and put out a video. You need to support me. You need to be like Kobe's wife, hold my hand, caress me and support me. And she's pregnant. That's some shit right there. Oh, you guys didn't get any content. Okay, you probably will now that I mention it. Right. Because a lot of people are under the impression when you go to therapy, you automatically get diagnosed. It does not work like that. If you're not at the point where it's a medical emergency, those people get diagnosed right away. Like when it's a medical emergency, like somebody is bringing into the hospital, something like that, or a Jaguar, right? You're going to get diagnosed right away. They're going to diagnose you because they have to do it so they can prescribe you medicine, blah, blah, blah. But if you're willingly going to your therapist and stuff like that, unless they see you break down or there's something going wrong, they're not going to just diagnose you. They're just there to support you and give you tools to help you, Now, has Derrick been diagnosed with anything? I definitely think that he's probably diagnosed with, narcissism. And I know, shout out to Heart of Inspiration. She talked about this a lot. When you're a narcissist, that could be looked at as having some kind of mental health thing, but technically it's not on the spectrum of that. Sometimes women with low self-esteem will stay with Derrick, and other women with low self-esteem will desire a Derrick. Finally, 100 women is realistic when you use your channel to lure. Oh, right, Jai. Wasn't I just saying that the other day? You basically, even as a smaller content creator, you still get DMs. You still get DMs and offers and stuff like that. Things still happen. It's your choice on whether or not you want to respond. With me, as soon as I get a nude, I'll be like, oh, I don't want to. I'll be like, thank you. And then, I'll either just not respond or just block, because I'll be damned if you put out, oh, yeah, AT2 asked me for X, Y, and Z. And then I tell my moderators like, hey, blah, 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 message me. And this is what they said. So if anything come out, I need you to have my back. I'm just saying, while I don't have a lawyer to back me up and stuff like that right now, I tell my moderators like, hey, X, Y, and Z said this, and they did this to me. You need to have my back. I promise you, I'll send you screenshots and everything. I did not reply back. I did not do this, X, Y, and Z. You got to be careful as a content creator. This is how you get caught up with this shit. And like you guys were saying, back in the day, he wasn't really anything. He was a loser himself. And so now when you're somebody who gets attention, people love you. They check they start checking for you because now you have a name for yourself. He started working out and stuff. So women are flocking to him. So he did use his channel to lure women. He has over 100K. So yeah, we could see him sleeping with 100 women, Oh, thank you, Miss Messy Modest. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that. But yeah, we could see him sleeping with 100 women then. No, she wasn't ready to let go. She revealed in yesterday's interview that, she was all like, yes, I'm going to work on my marriage. I'm going to tell him how much, I love him, blah, blah, blah. And that's when she got the text message while he was sleeping upstairs, or, he was upstairs. He texted her and was like, hey, this ain't going to work out. Now, she did admit to him that she did not love him anymore. And I think that hurt him. Even though he was out cheating, what's up, Angel on Earth? Even though he was out cheating, it probably hurt him for her to say that she didn't love him anymore. She has love for him, but didn't love him anymore. Two different things, right? it was hard for her to try to love someone who has disrespected her. I don't think there was nothing wrong with her even saying that. She had to have she probably still loved him, but not in that kind of way. How can you love somebody who constantly disrespects you? And not even just the cheating, y'all. You got to think about publicly being embarrassed. Most people when they get cheated on and stuff like that, it's private. But this is a situation that got out. And then you never were on camera or anything like that. And now you got to come out on camera and be all like, yeah, he cheated, he this and that. And now you're a social media star because people are following you. People want access to you. People want to know, the real tea. Everybody wants information about you. And so you're kind of pushed out there to be the social media star. And then you start talking about the Bible and you getting excited and shit like that, weaponizing God's words. And people are like, whoa, this is getting a little too real for me. This is getting way too real. It was very off-putting. We didn't know her. She didn't do a proper introduction. Like, hey, my name is Danae. I come from Colorado. I'm married to Derrick. This is what I want to do with my social media. This is my mission. This is my goal. She came on preaching to us, and we're like, how can you preach to us when you can't even preach to your husband? And she also mentioned he didn't like that. She said that he needed to be delivered. He took it as something negative. Yeah, I can see him sleeping with many women as we women can act in desperation. Ooh, shoot! I'm looking at a cardboard. He groomed her. She said she didn't think anything of herself, and yeah, she said she was a shell of herself. Yeah, she definitely did mention that. She was a shell of herself. Right. He also blocked her. Yeah. She said she didn't even know about the Mother's Day post because she was blocked. And so when she had seen the post, she was all like, he even spelled my name wrong. Didn't tag me and spelled my name wrong. And so that whole Mother's Day post was for social media. It was it was a dagger to her and a disrespect to her. But, and I think all of us kind of took it like, yo, how you gonna make this post about her and then you disrespect this woman talking about she a great mother and this and that? And anything that Derrick does, we are going to nail him. That's it. Anything that he does, he can't tell us shit about nothing. Anything that he does, we are going to drag him because of what he did to that woman. Granted, do we know everything? Do we know his side of the story? No, we don't. However, we know that you was cheating with over 100 women and you were sloppy about it. Why were these women not under an NDA? I'm not excusing cheating, but why weren't any of these women under an NDA? Why weren't any of these women, like, why were you having these relations with these women? If you didn't want it, you should have broke it off. And trust me, Danae probably would have signed a prenup. That woman probably would have signed a prenup and been like, yes, I'll sign a prenup where I get nothing. But he's so wrapped up to himself, he thought she would never leave. Excuse me. He thought she would never leave. I don't understand how anyone can still support Derrick. He's unethical and hypocritical. Hypocritical, right? Oh, you think he wanted to really hurt her? Yep, he's pretty much finished. Right. How don't you know how to spell her name? Well, no, some of those women did go to Tasha K. They did go to Tasha. But I always wonder too. I wonder, did any of the women try to contact her, or did she try to contact the women? That's what I'm wondering. Did she try to contact any of the women? Couture Babe, message me on Instagram. Why didn't she contact any of or did she contact any of the women, or did any of the women contact her? That was a good question. I wish he would have asked that, because I would be curious to know, like, okay, well, what's going on? How did this happen? You know, get more information out of them. Why is he cheating? Um, it was more about, I'm gonna watch these women and try to pretend to be them, or try to act like them, try to do things sexually that they would do, rather than trying to ask these women like what's going on and like try to confront them. She barely confronted him about the cheating. So that was weird to me. Now let's talk about the jealousy part of her daughter. Now, initially when I seen the clip online, I was all like, she was jealous of her daughter. Like, that sounds crazy. But now, digging deeper into it, it was the thought of like the women were similar to her daughter as in far as dark skin. Now, he did cheat with all kind of women, but his preference were darker skinned women, and the daughter is darker. And she said, dang, I carried the baby, but it was like they had the baby, because the baby looked like them, but I carried it. And so it was a thought of like, damn, why can't I be like the woman that he wants? More than she was jealous of her daughter. It's not a Precious situation. You remember, y'all seen Precious, right? That was a whole different scenario situation. It was more like, dang, he likes these kind of women. Why can't I be what they are? That's basically what it more was. You know, still a little weird that she used the word jealousy and said her daughter was more like the women and stuff like that. Still a little, you know, the way she worded that, but I get where she was coming from. She just didn't explain it correctly. Naughty said, you can't keep no man that does not want to be kept. Yeah. And she was willing to try to keep him. You know, she was willing to do anything to try to keep him. Remember, he filed for divorce. He wanted to separate. He wanted to cut it off. She did not. And that would have been another good question too. Like, was there any point where you were like, this is done? Like, yeah, she did go to Colorado. Her mom came, got her, and they went to Colorado, right? Definitely. Bye, Messi. Thank you for coming. They went to Colorado and, you know, left for 8 months. But during that 8 months, did you ever plan on leaving, or you just needed a break? Like, when was enough enough? I don't think she reached her breaking point. Did she ever reach her breaking point where she was all like, I'm done, this is over with? Like, we need to get a divorce. I'm taking everything, having the kids. Like, where is that? I'm sorry. And remember, we all allowed to have our opinions. I don't mind that, you know, but, you know, a little weird, but, you know. Right. And Patrice has said, if he does an interview, he's going to say that for sympathy. He definitely probably will try to say that for sympathy. Oh, you know, I had an addiction and that's why I did X, Y, and Z. But that still doesn't excuse you from, nah, definitely not. No, that definitely does not excuse you. He wanted to be an asshole. He wanted to be an asshole. He wanted to break this woman down and have her be a shell of herself. That's what he wanted. Any other woman wouldn't have dealt with it, but Danae, he knew, oh, this girl will recognize, she'll deal with it. No matter what I do, she'll deal with it. And because she always put up with it, this is the result that she got. It does seem like now she's in a better place where she actually loves herself. She does seem like she's more focused on her and not this whole situation. Again, she could have did an interview months ago, well, hell, years ago, but she decided to do it now. And I think she's in that healing process where she can speak on it, because this is something that she'll probably never get over. Like, how can she ever trust again? Intangible said, how no STDs, so many women? Why is no one ever talking about that? Right. Shit, 100, like, you had her. I wish I was darker as I'm super light, but damn, the daughter talk is creepy. Yeah. Yeah, Danae, I try to defend you. They all said it was weird and creepy. Hopefully she has a strong support system in place. Yeah, hopefully now she does. Oh, and I think also too, the reason why she went on Dear Future Wifey podcast is because Latrice, the interviewer, the host of the show, he actually knows her preacher. So because he knows her pastor, that's how I could see, oh, this is how he got the interview and stuff like that. You know, also something that they didn't mention as well too was like the cult they were in. So I don't know if you guys ever seen the video, but she was a part of this one church, and I forgot the name of the church, and I should have looked that up. But basically, if you ever seen the viral video, you know, the sex demon, the oral sex demon, and the lady like, oh, because she's pretending like she's like sucking off a ghost. She was a part of that church, you guys. That was the church that she was a part of. So I don't know why that wasn't asked, and you know, they didn't dive into that. So that would have been a good question. So that was another question that was also missing. But overall, I did feel like it was a good interview, especially being her first. I could see why they probably didn't dive into that, especially. But overall, I think it was really, really good. And it was good to hear from her. It was good to hear from her. Just knowing that this is a woman that overcame all this shit, adversity, and now she has her own platform. And now that I know that she's not crazy, that she's not cuckoo, now that I know that she's not super cuckoo, I respect her a lot more. I actually respect her. And she's very wise, and she's only 33 years old. And luckily, you know, all this cheating and stuff like that, it didn't eat away at her, you know, physically. You know, when you're emotionally drained and stuff like that, it can eat away at you physically. Oh, the self-harming. She did mention that she was at a breaking point where she wanted to self-harm herself and end it all, but she didn't end up doing that. And, you know, God helped her through that period of time. So I did want to mention that as well too. Very, yeah. Anytime anybody says they want to harm themselves, it really hits me, because I'll be all like, man, I hope I never get to that place where I'm all like, you know what, this is it. And so that's why I always ask those questions, like, who was around during that time to like help her and like really pick her up when she needed it, you know? You just ask those kind of questions. But anyway, you guys, make sure you guys check out the interview. I did post a link in the description to the video. Hopefully you guys have some time to check it out. As well as, because definitely want to drop this. Now, the dates have been changed. It is now the 31st, May 31st and June 1st is a new date of the Money Consciousness Masterclass. Only $33, $99 for the VIP. If you're an entrepreneur and need help with financing certain things and really getting deep into your value and how much you should charge people, make sure you guys check out this. Like I told you guys, I didn't know what to charge people, you know, certain amounts and stuff like that. But now I do, because I know my value. And so it's all about valuing yourself. But other than that, y'all, we out of here. Love y'all. And thank you for all the support and love. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Deuces.